I know that people will say, well, it's oversaturated and there's too many content creators. There's not, actually. There's so many people online. All they do is scroll endless. And guess what? If your content resonates with people, it doesn't matter that there's already 150,000 fitness influencers. It's 150,001 because somebody's going to follow your content because it resonates with them. Hi friends, welcome back to my 30-day series on how to become a food influencer, food blogger, food content creator, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about all the things food influencing in this series, so welcome back. Today we're covering niches, okay? To niche or not to niche? That is the question. I feel like with social media, when influencers were first kind of starting to come on the scene, it felt very much like you needed to niche down and just cover one specific thing. You were a fitness influencer or a natural hair influencer or a food influencer or a wellness influencer. Like, you were very much in a pocket and you had to stay in that pocket. Like, you was in a box, okay? I don't really necessarily feel like we need to live in a box in order to do food content. However, if you are a person who feels more comfortable kind of having a parameter to stay within, we're gonna run down the list of different niches that you can go into as a food blogger in 2025. These are ones that are going to help you attract an audience because they're very expansive, and there's a lot of people who fall within these parameters, but they also engage with this kind of content. So one of the most popular styles of food content that you can create is like budget friendly or quick, easy dinners. And a lot of that is because people are not trying to spend 45 minutes to an hour in the kitchen cooking every night. They want to see what they can make quickly so they can get on to the next thing. That's not me. I am not a quick cook kind of person. I like to do a meditative cooking session with a little wine. That's a conversation for another day. However, if you are a person who really excels at finding out how to put a spread on the table on a tight budget, maybe you are a budget-friendly food content creator. Maybe you're somebody who knows how to do 5 quick recipes in under 20 minutes for the family. Maybe you are a mom blogger who helps people understand how to get their kids to eat vegetables. Like, you're sneaking zucchini into the pancakes. I follow this girl who does that, and I actually kind of love it, and I kind of want to sneak some zucchini into my pancakes. But if that's kind of your thing, then I don't think it's a bad thing to kind of stick within that niche. You could also be one of the people who does kind of fancy elevated food. When you're picking a niche, I think it's super important to make sure that you pick something that you're comfortable staying in and that you can be consistent with. If you pick something and you create within that niche for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then you switch it up, you do lose some of the momentum that you've built because people connect to what you tell them consistently they should connect to. If you decide one thing and then you change your mind, it's fine. You can always change your mind and do something else, but you have to know that you might lose some of that momentum that you built doing that first thing. And this is why it's important to know what you can do consistently. And it's not to discourage you from changing your mind. I think you kind of try whatever you like to try until you find your rhythm, but just know this is not a license to quit. If you decide after 2 months that you would rather do a completely different food identity, just know it might take a little bit for your engagement to pick back up. Another niche that you can do that's really popular is restaurant reviews. You can be the person who goes into restaurants, sets up your camera, talks about what the different menu items are, what the happy hours are, what the specials, what the cocktails, how everything tasted. If that's your thing, something that I would highly encourage is to just be cognizant of the fact that not all restaurants are into that kind of thing. And so whenever I'm doing restaurant blogging, we'll either contact ahead, or if I can't contact ahead, I will ask before I set my camera up. Just because we want to be mindful and respectful of people's working environment. And so if they're like, yes, by all means, go ahead and set your camera up, then I'm gonna set my camera up and I'm gonna do my thing. And sometimes if you email ahead, they'll let you go get content in the kitchen. If you're a restaurant blogger, that's kind of like, you've hit the jackpot. Just make sure that if that's the kind of content that you're doing, you're respectful of how they're running their business. Another type of food content, like a niche that's super, super popular right now, that is really, I feel like, kind of easy to grow in because you can turn in a lot of content, is fitness and wellness content. If you are a person who constantly gets 150 grams of protein a day and you are on your macros and you are getting your steps in and you are in the gym, food and fitness content go together real bad, okay? The girls want to know how to get 40 grams of protein at breakfast. The girls want to know how to get a balanced diet and make sure that their skin is glowing. If that's you, lean all the way in, friend. Lean in. I know that people will say, well, it's oversaturated and there's too many content creators. There's not, actually. There's so many people online. All they do is scroll endlessly. I know. I'm one of them sometimes. I'm constantly on my phone looking at food content, and it does not matter that I already follow 500 people. If I find someone whose content resonates with me, I'm gonna follow them too. And guess what? If your content resonates with people, it doesn't matter that there's already 150,000 fitness influencers. It's 150,001 because somebody's gonna follow your content because it resonates with them. So if you're the girl, the guy who creates content that helps people learn how to get fit or stay fit or learn how to eat balanced, nutritious meals, that's a great niche to be in. That's a niche that is always expanding, and it also offers you the ability to kind of get into the wellness side of it too, with herbals and supplements and all kinds of different things, because people are constantly on the hunt for ways to improve their quality of life and their health. Another niche that's really popular right now, and I feel like I wasn't seeing a lot of it like 2 years ago, and then suddenly boom, it's everywhere, is from scratch. Think Nara Smith. The girl makes everything from scratch. Pasta, Cheez-It, pizza dough, like everything is from scratch in her kitchen. And if you are a person who loves the process of cooking, kind of a meditative cooking session, people love to see how a pile of flour turns into a loaf of bread. This is something that I could watch. It's ASMR for a lot of people. It is so soothing to watch somebody create a very beautiful, elegant, elevated, fancy, fun, lovely dish out of a very basic ingredient. So if that's your thing, set up your camera, babe. People want to see it. You could also do all of these things. You can do from scratch. You can do budget and easy. You can do elevated. You can do restaurants. You don't have to pick a niche at all. If you like to do all that stuff, you can do all that stuff. There's a million different ways that you can approach this, but if you have the passion for it, and if you have the desire to create food content, and you've just kind of been wondering like, oh, I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I want you to stick with me because I'm gonna tell you how. The way that I create content, just to give you guys some context, I do restaurant blogs, I do recipes, and I also do cookbooks. I'm not a really trained cook. I'm not a chef. I am just somebody who enjoys being in the kitchen and creating yummy food. When I ran out of recipes that I knew how to make from scratch on my own, I just took out my cookbooks and I based my content on what I want to cook for the week. And so whatever niche you decide to pick, just be confident that you are able to be consistent with, because consistency is the name of the game for social media. You kind of have to show up every day. Pick your niche, or don't pick a niche at all and just cook whatever you want and get out there and create some content. Please make sure that you like, subscribe, comment, let me know what kind of stuff you guys want to see. I can tell you for tomorrow, we're going to talk about equipment, all the essentials that I use as a food content creator. We're going to talk about the bare minimums that you need, but I'm also going to kind of get into some of the fancier stuff that I have that's not necessary when you first start out, but that definitely helps the process. Make sure that you're tapped in and take notes, because I want to make sure that when you come away from this, again, you have a very thorough understanding of what your next steps need to be. If you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, you can follow me there at Glow It Away. And make sure you subscribe to my page so you get notifications here when the next video comes out. Tomorrow we're talking about equipment, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.